Macmillan Audio presents Home is the Sailor, an Irish country doctor's story by Patrick Taylor. Read for you by John Keating. Chapter 1. First impressions are things you don't get a second chance to make. Surgeon Commander Fingal Flahertie O'Reilly, MB, BCH, BAO, RNR, DSC, gave a third hard shove, then kept his thumb firmly on the porcelain push of a bell that was mounted on a brass plate. "Get a move on," he said, and hunched his shoulders. It was nippy out here in the mid-February evening. His ship, HMS Warspite, had been placed in Category C Reserve on February 1, 1946, and her remaining crew paid off. As soon as he had completed the formalities of his own demobilisation, O'Reilly had headed for the Liverpool cross-channel ferry to Belfast docks, and then the train to Ballybucklebo. From there, it had only been a short walk. An Austin ruby of early 30s vintage rattled past the Presbyterian church on the other side of Main Street, part of the Bangor to Belfast road. He heard a distant ringing and a woman's soft Cork brogue calling, "I'm coming so, take your hurry in your hand now." He stepped back and regarded the familiar front of the big old three-storey house, where he had been an assistant in general practice before the war had called him away on naval service for 6 long years. A steam engine whistled, coming from where the tracks of the Belfast and County Down Railway ran along the shore of Belfast Lough. When he looked at the house again, he saw ground-floor bow windows flanking a green-painted front door, a now open green door, wherein stood a solid woman in her late 30s. Fire flashed in her agate eyes as she squinted into the low sun. She dusted flour off her hands, then stood arms akimbo. "You did make the bell sound like the last trump, boy. There's no need to—" She stepped back, smiling broadly with dimples coming into her cheeks. "Praise all the saints. It's yourself, sir." She stepped aside. "Welcome home at last. Come in, Dr. O'Reilly, sir. Come into the dining room, and I'll make you a cup of tea and a plate of hot buttered barmbrack, so, before I see to your dinner. I've made roast rack of spring lamb with herb stuffing and caper sauce." O'Reilly's tummy grumbled, and his grin was vast. "By God, that sounds like manna from heaven." After years of eating the efforts of Royal Navy cooks, often little more than corned beef sandwiches and cocoa, when the ship was closed up at action stations, one of Mrs. Kincaid's homemade meals would be bliss. "How are you anyway, Kinky? I'm sorry I'm a bit late." On Monday, to let her know he'd be arriving Friday, he'd phoned Mrs. Maureen Kinky Kincaid, until recently housekeeper to the late Dr. Flanagan, to whom O'Reilly had been an assistant before the war. The estate had provided for her wages to be paid until the house and practice had been sold to O'Reilly. "Och, I'm grand so, and it's better late than never, and I'm all the better for seeing yourself back here, sir." She beamed at him. "It's good to be home." O'Reilly was very glad that she was now going to assume the same housekeeping role for him. He had, while the ship was still in Portsmouth, through his solicitor brother Lars, completed the purchase of the practice and the house and its contents from Dr. Flanagan's estate. It had taken every penny of O'Reilly's demobilisation gratuity and a sizable loan from the Bank of Ireland. It was, he thought, a blessing that Kinky had agreed.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?